Dave Refson, Gerry DiNardo, Howard Griffith. We are in College Park, having just watched Maryland practice, a team that seemed focused, and they ought to be focused, guys, because the season opener is a challenging one. They have to go to Austin, Texas, game one for the Longhorns under Tom Herman. You talk a lot about non-conference scheduling philosophy. It is one of the soapboxes that you like to spend some time upon.
Correct.
So let me start with you. How do you feel about Maryland opening at Texas?
I don't think that's a smart game. I think we always know Texas, if they're not doing well, they're going to turn it around. Texas doesn't drop too far down. So regardless of where they are at a certain time, if an athletic director schedules Maryland to play Texas, they're going to put them at a disadvantage to other teams that are similar to Maryland themselves. I think Florida, Michigan's a great idea. I think Ohio State, Oklahoma's a great idea. I think Maryland at Texas is a bad idea.
Let me ask you this, though. Getting a gauge for where your team is, how much of that, you would think that helps you a lot going against a team like Texas and having to take them on the road early in the year.
Yeah, it gives you a good gauge. So does playing a FCS school or a non-Power 5 school. You can get a gauge regardless of who you play, right?
Well,
if you're a lot better than the team that you're playing, that also gives you a gauge. I don't think that the most important thing for Maryland right now is to get a gauge, especially with a new quarterback, if Texas is the way to get a gauge.
So your point seems to be that if you are a count-to-6 program, try to figure out a way to get to 6 wins, that you don't want to play those games ever? I mean, do you just feel like the programs in our league that historically have been kind of middle of the pack, where making a bowl game is considered a good year, you should never play a high-profile opponent?
What you should do is have a non-conference philosophy. Let's use Northwestern. Northwestern will tell us that they want to play a similar academic institution from a Power 5. That's a good philosophy. And then the next two, I think, without being disrespectful, they want to play two teams where if they're recruiting well, they probably have better players than those two teams. That's a philosophy. What philosophy does Maryland playing at Texas fall under? It doesn't fall under a philosophy. It falls under a philosophy that they need to play 12 games. And so I don't think that's a good philosophy. So Ohio State may have a philosophy, play the best non-conference opponent we can schedule. Michigan, play Florida. I think those are philosophies. We want to play a big-time
Well, what if that's Maryland's philosophy? We want to play big-time games. We want to be on national TV.
I think it's a bad philosophy.
We want a chance to showcase our program.
I think if they come out and say we want to play top 10 teams, that's a philosophy. Doesn't mean it's a good philosophy, but I haven't heard them say why they're playing Texas other than they need a 12th game.
Nebraska, Oregon, good game, bad game.
Nebraska, Oregon's good.
It's a good game.
Penn State, Pitt, good game, bad game.
Good game, great game.
Purdue, Louisville, good game, bad game.
Bad game. Where's the philosophical?
But here's
Penn State
playing a regional game. Playing a
Pitt,
regional
Penn,
game.
Penn
Indiana
State
State
becomes
they're
a
in the
problem.
region.
But still, you talk about Pitt, Penn State. Penn State's got everything to lose.
And they lost it last year.
Everything to lose.
If Penn State
They also
doesn't
won the
play,
Big Ten.
But
It
if
may
they
have
didn't
helped them
play
win the
Pitt
Big Ten.
last year,
No, but the philosophy,
they might have made the college
So why
football
can't we go
playoff.
the other way
the
with it?
philosophy of Penn State playing Pitt is they're both in the same state. Historically, they've played each other. That's philosophical.
Why are you beating on the desk? You know how this is the problem. He was a coach.
Oh, okay.
That's part of the problem.
So I went
listen,
wrong when I took my first coaching job?
But I would say from a player's perspective, when you're lining up and you're looking at the schedule and you see Texas, you get excited. I think you get dialed in more and you want to prepare early for that matchup.
Okay, that's a good philosophy for you. I'll get my team dialed up for the first game, regardless of who we're playing.
Oh, stop it.
Just tell me what philosophy Maryland playing Texas falls under. Getting a team dialed up, I guess?
I think you need to get guys locked in, and I don't think it's a big problem. Okay. You want to play the best. Kids want to play the best. Now, you start going up into the offices, that's a different story.
Right. And I do think it also has to do with what are the other two games. Like, I don't think UCF's going to be a gimme either, right? I mean, that's a challenging game also. So all of a sudden, if you drop 2 in the non-conference, then you have problems because ultimately you need to make a bowl game. And you got really tough crossover games this year on the schedule as well.
Get to 6.
All 3 teams on Maryland's schedule who are in the West had winning records in the Big Ten.
You're such an angry man. You know that you are angry. You were slamming the desk. Go ahead, Reverend, take us. But you were slamming on the desk.
Don't touch me.
I don't understand that.
We're going to Rutgers next. It's going to be far more civil when we get there.